friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am here to do my August wrap up. And it wasn't really a super successful reading month, but I did knock off some books that have been sitting on my TBR for a while. So I was very excited about that. I did participate in Tome Topple and I finished 1 9/10 of a book. But I'm going to go ahead and jump into these books. I have reviewed pretty much all of them, so that's also another bonus. So let's go ahead and jump in with the first thing that I read. So I started the month with Tome Topple. So I picked up Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab. I have done a full review of this novel, so if you're interested, I will have that linked in the cards and down in the description box for you. Loved this so much. I cried. It was everything that I wanted. It's the continuation of this Savage song, and I'm just so happy that I read it. Then I picked up during Tome Topple The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This is one of the books that I had on my list of 10 books to read this year, and it is over 500 pages, so I decided to finally tackle it, and I'm really glad that I did. I also did a full review of this one, so I will have it in the cards and down below for you as well. I read all but like maybe the last 100 pages of this, and I did listen to it, some on audio, and then I just picked it up physically and read it as well. When I do listen to things on audio, I am still reading along with it, but Jim Dale narrated it and I loved it. I did have to bump down the speed a little bit, but I really did enjoy the story. It was hard to follow at times, so it took me a long time to read this one, but it was totally worth it. 5 stars. And I picked up A Semi-Definitive List of Worst Nightmares by Crystal Sutherland. I also have a review of this one. This comes out on September 5th. I read this for ARC August, and I really did like this one. This is like a dark horse that I really didn't know anything about, but I randomly got sent this from Penguin Teen, and I'm so glad that I did because I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. I thought that it handled fear and anxiety very well, but it does have a lot of trigger warnings, so definitely check out that review if you're interested in more of my thoughts, non-spoilery thoughts about this one. A couple of weeks ago, I posted a library haul where my friend and I went to the library book sale, and our main purpose was to get books for my classroom, which we did, so check. But I also stopped in the main part of the library and borrowed 2 books. I borrowed Snot Girl Volume 1. This is Green Hair Don't Care, and I really didn't know anything about this comic series, but I saw it, like pictures of it, and like someone cosplay as her. I just saw it like during Booktubeathon and it had me very interested. The art is very colorful and fun, and I was dealing with allergies of my own, so you have this main character that has allergies as well, so I thought it was like perfect timing. But sadly, I didn't really like this. The paneling was kind of hard to follow, and the story wasn't like too interesting, but I did like the artwork overall, and I liked it enough that I'm going to pick up the second volume, like maybe for my library or something like that, to see if I want to continue in the series. I ended up rating, what is it? Snot Girl Green Hair Don't Care Volume 1, 3 stars. Then I picked up another ARC for August, ARC August, and that was Things I'm Seeing Without You by Peter Bognani. Never heard of that author before, not sure what else he's written, but I also got sent this unsolicited from Penguin Teen, so thank you. Really liked this one. I rated it 4 stars. I have not, as of this moment, filmed my review for this one yet. It also comes out later in September, so I will have a review closer to release date, but I rated this one 4 stars because while I don't know, it was a little slow kind of in the beginning. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but then I really fell into the story. I really liked the characters. It was totally different. Like the plot was just different than I was like expecting. It wasn't like a typical YA story, but at the same time, it kind of ended abruptly, and I wish it would have had an epilogue. So for that reason, I gave it 4 stars. The last thing that I read was another book that I picked up at the library to borrow, and that was Blankets by Craig Thomas. I'd never read anything by Craig Thomas before. I think this is more about his life than maybe his previous work, but if you read anything about him and know anything about him, He's like really talented. I was surprised that it was all done in black and white, and I loved it as much as I did. When it comes to like graphic novels and comics, I really like bright colors and things like that, and this had absolutely no color, but I was still blown away by the artwork, and the story was very interesting too. It kind of flashed back and forth, like from his childhood to like Bible school to high school to his first love. It had a lot to do with about family and first love and growing as a person. It also had a very heavy religious theme throughout. And one thing that I will say is that the one girl that he falls in love with has her parents had adopted 2 children. One has Down syndrome and one, they don't name like her disability. But during this, they did use the word retarded, and I don't like that word, and I don't think it should be used. I just think that they didn't need it at all, and I should have marked the page where it was, but that was really the only thing. That and the ending was a little abrupt and kind of, that's it. And some things weren't explained, and sometimes I had a hard time telling. It jumped around so much, like I was like, ooh, was it missing some pages or something like that? So I think I rated it like 4 or 5 stars because I did still really enjoy it. And this is one of those graphic novels that's like well over 500 pages. It's almost 600 pages, 582, but it still reads very quickly, so I highly recommend this. Yeah, so these are the books that I read in August, and I had a really good reading month despite being, I don't know, I was going through some crap in August. But that's all for today's video. Like I said, I will have all of the reviews linked down below and in the cards for you, so you can easily find those reviews for more of my thoughts. And check out my review closer to release date for Things I'm Seeing Without You. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you're all having a lovely day, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye!